Thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Ebben with a WBZ News Update. Our top stories this Friday. 21-year-old Zack Teixeira, a Massachusetts Air National Guardsman accused of leaking highly classified military documents about the war in Ukraine, has been ordered held behind bars after facing a federal judge earlier today. Teixeira was taken into custody without incident yesterday at his home in Dighton. He is now charged under the Espionage Act with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information, along with unauthorized removal and retention of classified materials. He's due back in court for another hearing next Wednesday. Authorities are investigating a deadly house explosion in Berlin earlier this afternoon. An 80-year-old woman was killed and another was pulled from the rubble by neighbors who acted quickly. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. First responders say they were notified about 3:30 this morning. They found a large debris field from the explosion when they arrived on the scene. The cause has not yet been determined. Firefighters in Milford are trying to put out a brush fire burning along the bike trail. Sky Eye over the scene earlier. Milford Fire tells us crews from several other towns are there helping out. Firefighters say it's a good-sized fire, but they haven't released any more details. Another day in the 80s, and it's even better because it's Friday, but the warm weather will leave us for the weekend. Let's check in on the latest forecast with meteorologist Zack Green.
Second day in a row back into the record books. 82 degrees checked off in Boston and Worcester. 82 will likely be the official high in the city, where Worcester has a chance of getting between 85 and even 87. Reason behind it, we've developed a sea breeze, and that is going to cap us at this point into the low 80s for most coastal areas. Now getting a shift in that wind direction as it comes off the water. So initially it was the push out of the west, more of that offshore flow, obviously helping to usher in the warmer temperatures. But once we see that easterly breeze come right over the cooler water, that is going to drop our temperatures in the coming hours. It's not all that impressive. 10 to 15 miles per hour is all it's going to take to allow us to slide out of the 70s, and by 4 p.m. we may actually be into the 60s, which by the way is already reflected out towards Chatham. So getting a little indication of that marine influence. Still very comfortable if you want to take a walk on the sand, and that typical summertime vibe. It's almost acting as some natural air conditioning as we go through the second half of the day. And a ridge of high pressure keeping us all dry for the end of the week. So if you have any after school plans, you just want to be out and about grilling at dinner, or you're going to be out in town, you're doing okay to go along with Friday night. You'll notice that drop off though, and it may even do enough to influence 128 out through Metro West and even 495 as we close in on say 7 to 8 p.m. Clearly after sunset, we're going to see those temperatures start to diminish, so we keep a little bit of that heat through the overnight hours, and waking up tomorrow morning relatively calm. Not going to see a ton of movement to go along with Saturday's numbers. So today, if you're heading out towards Fenway, it really is going to be a beautiful one. Just may want an extra layer as we go into the 7th inning stretch. Saturday, we have some showers late, so the 4 p.m. start and first pitch may not have rain, but we still have a chance of holding on to that as we go through the course of the game. A better shot of more of the matinee scenario on Sunday, and again for the 11 a.m. game on Patriots Day. Here's some of the rain chances for tomorrow. You notice it's kind of cascading out of the south, so it may do enough to bring us scattered chances between about 5 and 7 p.m. off and on through your Saturday night plans. And we may do enough to hold on to that early into Sunday morning, and we still hold on to this wave just kind of blowing past us. It really doesn't seem to be much outside of a brush, but it will keep kind of that raw and nuisance rain in store as we move into Sunday afternoon. Monday morning, with any luck, there is a dry window for the race start. The marathon, obviously 26.2 miles. It takes a little while. I do anticipate there to be sort of a rain chance on our heels, but I don't think it's going to be a major hassle for the run-ins themselves. 60 degrees as we go into the afternoon. Relatively warm in the morning. So instead of years past that we have had to have extra layers and really bundle up to start the day, I don't think that's the case. Maybe just a rain jacket to avoid some of the raindrops. And again, generally dry early on, seeing more rain develop as we move through the course of Monday. So ultimately not that bad, not a true soaking. We still have some chances in store for Tuesday as well. Wednesday, we're clearing everything out and more typical of April standards through the end of the 7-day.
I'm Paula Ebben. This has been a WBZ News Update.